Hi, my name is Kevin Taylor, host of With All Due Respect. As you know, With All Due Respect has been self-produced for the past 3 years. We have not accepted any money or resources outside in order to maintain the integrity of the platform. We are an anti-corruption platform. Our work doesn't excite or encourage compromised stakeholders. That also means we cannot take funds from just anyone. As our platform grows, the need for increased quality of work and production requires increased resources during this election year and beyond. In order to maintain our anti-corruption stance and continue to speak for everyday people without clout or connections in higher places, we cannot rely on the same entities we critique for continually keeping their hands in the cookie jar to be the ones who keep our work going. In that view, I welcome your support and participation in keeping this work ongoing. This platform is for the people, so we think it is only right for the people to sustain it. Now, this is a simple thing you have to do. Just visit patreon.com/withallduerespect, patreon.com/withallduerespect, or click the link at the bottom of the video. For Ghanaians or our viewers in Ghana, we are putting together a Ghanaian payment processor on our website. Please again, do not send any donation to any platform apart from patreon.com/withallduerespect or loudsilenceradio.com donation page. You can donate as low as $10. Yes, $10, and we have exciting packages for every level of donation, including one-on-one call with me, Kevin Ekobedu Taylor, access to some of the documents before they go live. You can also have dinner with me in Washington, D.C. to discuss the issues. My fellow Ghanaians, remember, it's Patreon, patreon.com/withallduerespect. Hi, my name
is Rebecca! Nana Kufuor, you know Rebecca, First Lady of Ghana. The kid say we about time. We about time. Kasachira wo husband no kasachira magistrate na o judge asama homache no so de na mo na ko remind 2 weeks no jano no fire sika maye esa say tama ye ne pray last year no ko kasachira ye no ye ji si ye twan ama na mo na ba enda wa bedu wa ra country cry ye jano mo aba
na Ghana
na sa so ada na sa mo sama brati ni brabiom Munjano, na say yesika na matidini tina mo yasa. Me wone mo.
Today we're going to be moving fast. Yes, we're going to be moving fast because I'm going to explain to you what actually happened in Dubai. The judgment of Nana Mensah's case against Horizon, the Horizon company that sells jewel. This is the company that sued Nana Mensah. I'll also be telling you about what happened in court when Nana Mensah came to Ghana, what the government of Ghana said, and what the attorneys or the counsel of Nana Mensah also said in court. So I have the 2 court hearings here. But before we start today's event or today's show, I would like everybody to notice this name, Adoyi Alfomi. This guy is a Nigerian, and Charles Aboku Daraku, he is Ghanaian. These two are friends. These are the guys who started the whole #1 issue. Yeah, so in 2017, the CEO of Horizon Company came to Ghana to meet Nana Mensah to discuss some gold business. As usual, they've been doing gold for some time. Actually, when they came to meet Nana Mensah, they told Nana Mensah they needed 2,000 kilos of gold. And then Nana Mensah also told them that, you know what, now the government has started this campaign against illegal mining, small-scale mining, so the influx of gold is very slow now, and that I will need a little bit of time. Before that, Nana Mensah had given them a lot of gold, over 2,000 in small quantities. So Nana Mensah sells to them in small quantities, and they've been doing business for a very long time. Now, Nana Mensah tells this company, the representative that came, that give me 2 weeks, and that I will be able to organize something. So they ended up on a number like 750 kilos of gold that Nana Mensah is supposed to sell to them. And the street value of that gold is $32 million. That is what they settled on. Now, this company went behind Nana Mensah and was directed by some people in government. some people at Yoko, some people at the SEC, that there is another company, and that company is called Gust Gold Company. Gust Gold. Now, through the direction from these people in government and also at Yoko and SEC, because you know, before big companies come into this country, they go through the right channels before they will be able to they will be directed to right companies to deal with, because not everybody is really registered or rightfully registered to deal in large quantities of gold. So you have to understand that before these companies come to Ghana and talk to people like Men's Gold, Gust Gold and all that, people at SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission, are the people who are able to direct you, like, go to Kevin, he sells gold, he is registered, he is a legitimate gold dealer. So this company, Horizon, couldn't wait for the 2 weeks, and then they got behind an Apia Mensah to meet this guy who calls himself Adowe Alphon. He told the Horizon people that he is the prince of the Ashanti Kingdom. Yes, he is the prince of the Ashanti Kingdom, and that he owns Gust Gold. He has some shares in, if the company have heard about Men's Gold, he's got a lot of shares in Men's Gold. So if they're dealing with him, it's basically like dealing with Men's Gold. That is what they told these people. Now, these people trusted these two guys, this Charles Oboko Daraku. I'll talk about these guys very soon. And then they told them to meet them in Dubai. So these two guys, they flew to Dubai. And then when they got to Dubai, they had a meeting with these people that, okay, they can supply them 50 million worth of gold. 50 million. Actually, it was $180 million worth of gold, but they're going to start with $50 million. Now, this company starts to pay. They ended up paying about $48 million to $50 million to this guy posing as the Prince of Ashanti and his Ghanaian friend, Charles Oboko Daraku. This is what happens. Nana Appiah Mensah then is able to manage, he's able to raise the 750 kilos of gold, and he flew this gold all the way to Dubai and handed it over to these people in Dubai. Now he comes back because he's been doing business with them for over 4 years. It's part of the reason why this Horizon company lost their case in court, because they have been dealing with Nana Appiah Mensah for 4 years, and Nana Appiah Mensah has been dealing with them as the CEO of Men's Gold. They've been to Ghana, they've been to his office. He's never changed his name, identity, his passport. He's used the same identity to deal with these people for 4 years. Now this is what happens. Nana Appiah Mensah comes back to Ghana. He's waiting for his money to be transferred to him. 2 Swift checks come in, they all bounce. Now he gets worried. So Nana Appiah Mensah decides to go to Dubai to take his money. Now Nana Appiah Mensah leaves Ghana, yes, thinking that he has a legit business. Men's Gold customers, listen to me. Nana Appiah leaves Ghana. The day Nana Appiah leaves Ghana, he notifies the Ghana Airport Authority. He notifies Yoko. He notifies the Ghana police that he is leaving for Dubai. And you have to understand this. Airplanes, private airplanes are not like 207 or they are not like Kia Optima. They are planes. And before they leave, they go through a lot of process, checks. You know, paperwork are done. So Nana Appiah Mensah can't just get up in the morning, go sit in the plane and fly to Dubai. So technically, Nana Appiah Mensah made sure that he was going through the right channel before he left Ghana. Nana Appiah Mensah leaves Ghana. He gets to Dubai to chase his money. Then he's locked up. Yes, Nana Appiah Mensah is locked up in Dubai. But the funny thing is, after Nana Appiah Mensah was locked up in Dubai, these two guys escape. These two guys are given the VIP treatment at Kotoka International Airport and they escape. Now, listen to something. These guys received the $50 million in Ghana. Yes, they received the money at Unibank. In fact, the account number, this is the judgment in Dubai. The account number was 030-100-20-50011. Yes, they received the amount at Unibank Ghana. They received the $50 million there. So definitely there should be a name connected to this account. Charles Oboko Daraku is the person who led this transaction. And our checks indicate that Charles is actually a very close friend to somebody very close to the president. Yes, a very, very close friend to somebody very close to the president. In fact, Charles lives like 3 blocks from this person's wife's house. Yes, in Ghana. And the person knows what I'm talking about. I have documents here to prove the text messages, email messages, and all that between that person and Charles and other people in government who tried to push this under the carpet. Now, these guys received the money at Unibank. This is not even important. It's not important because Nana Appiah Mensah does not know these guys. They use Nana Appiah Mensah's company to defraud these people because they know these people have been working with Nana Appiah Mensah. But do you know how Nana Appiah Mensah ended up in this case? When Nana Appiah Mensah went to Dubai to pick his money, he was arrested. And the CEO of Horizon decided to insert Nana Appiah Mensah's name in his statement because he thought that Nana Appiah Mensah knew this guy and that they were all doing good business together. So Nana Appiah Mensah is also a scammer or a fraudster. So he inserted Nana Appiah Mensah's name in his statement because he didn't have any data on these two guys. These two guys I mentioned, Adowi Alfomi, the Nigerian, and Charles Abuku Daraku. Yes, Charles Abuku Daraku is a strong financier of a political party here, which is in power in Ghana. Yes, this Charles guy. I'll talk to you guys about him. Nana Appiah Mensah was arrested the 7th of December 2018 in Dubai when he tried to go get his money. 4 days after Nana Appiah Mensah was arrested, somebody in government went on his Twitter page and gave a hint that an Interpol red notice will be placed on Nana Appiah Mensah because Nana Appiah Mensah has jumped bail and absconded. This is the statement that person made. That person is in government now. That was the first person who made that statement from Ghana. And that, he hinted that there was going to be an Interpol red alert on Nana Appiah Mensah. So 4 days after he was arrested in Dubai, Nana Appiah Mensah, there was this placed on him. That was the Interpol alert placed on Nana Appiah Mensah. Nobody knew what was going to happen. Everybody was surprised that how can this person know that Nana Appiah Mensah, there's going to be an Interpol, Nana Appiah Mensah jump bill, the police, the CID, the IGP, they were all asked that who arrested Nana Appiah Mensah? Who arrested Nana Appiah Mensah? And that who came to sign his bail? Till date, nobody has answered that question. But we were made to believe that Nana Appiah Mensah jumped bail, absconded, and went to Dubai, and he has been arrested. So the government of Ghana sent this Interpol alert on Nana Appiah Mensah. That is why Nana Appiah Mensah ended up in jail. After the case was judged in Dubai, Nana Appiah Mensah told the court in Dubai that, you know what, I want to go back to Ghana. I've won this $39 million. I want to go back to Ghana and pay my clients, pay my customers, because they are going through a lot. This boy willingly. But Dubai told Nana Appiah Mensah something. They said, you are going to get bail. And the bill Nana Appiah Mensah got was almost $550,000 bill. The reason is, even though Dubai has lifted their Interpol on Nana Appiah Mensah or all charges, he's a free man, the Ghana Interpol red alert is still placed on Nana Appiah Mensah. So he has to come to Ghana, make sure the Ghana government revokes this Interpol alert so that he can access his money and pay these men's gold customers. Period. Nana Appiah Mensah comes to Ghana, the Ghana police, the Ghana government, they take Nana Appiah Mensah and they hide him. They put him behind bars because they say Nana Appiah Mensah is a criminal. This guy willingly decided to come to Ghana and fight this revoke. Yes, this guy, he comes to Ghana because he wants to pay the dying customers. The government of Ghana says that no, we are not going to make you go out and pay them. We are going to hold you because we have charges against you. Ghanaians, don't forget that Yoko, SEC, they knew about Nana Appiah Mensah's whereabouts. When this Interpol was released, where this alert was put on Nana Appiah Mensah called Yoko 3 p.m. I'm going to tell you, it's in the report, to tell them their whereabouts. You know, Interpol is only issued when a fugitive is on the run. We don't know where he is, the criminal, the fraudster, the launderer. We don't know where they are. That's when we issue this Interpol alert. But Nana Appiah Mensah called Yoko, and Yoko boss should come out and answer questions. That I am in Dubai. I have been arrested because of this. So you people know where I am and don't place anything on me. But they still went ahead and placed it because orders from above. His lawyer also opens a case in court. Yes, he wants to make points. Now, this is what his lawyer says in court. He said, Mr. Mensah has been in custody in Dubai since December 7, 2018. The date on which he arrived in Dubai to reclaim 750 kilograms of gold with a market value of 39 million United States dollars. fraudulently obtained by the company Horizon Royal Diamond. That is the company that sued Nana Appiah Mensah. The lawyer goes on to say that we note that Mr. Mensah and Men's Gold Ghana were introduced to Horizon Royal Diamond by members of the Yoko and Organized Crime Office, Yoko. I'm going to state this again. They make a case in court. They said they know for a fact that Mr. Mensah and Men's Gold Ghana were introduced to Horizon Royal Diamond by members of Yoko to these Horizon people. Yoko, first of all, introduced Men's Gold to Horizon people. Meaning, Yoko knew that Men's Gold was operating legally. There was a legit business. But Yoko is quiet. They turn around with Securities and Exchange Commission to say that they don't know anything about Nana Appiah Mensah and that he's practicing. That is where the panic withdrawal started. But don't get confused. I'm going to break it down for you to understand. In court, when Nana Appiah Mensah was in court in Ghana, this is in court in Ghana. This is what his counsel is saying. The facts they have. He said, we understand that Horizon Royal Diamond instigated this plan as they believed that Men's Gold Ghana faced an eventual shutdown due to the regulatory dispute the company faced in 2018 amidst the misguided, wholly defamatory and ill-informed media reporting and criticism in Ghana. The question then must be asked as to whether or not the principals of Horizon Royal Diamond in the furtherance of their criminal attempt conspired with elements within the Republic of Ghana. Is a question they were asking, and they have a reason for asking that question, and the reason is here. There's a reason for asking if there were some elements or some Ghanaians who conspired with these Horizon guys to make sure that Nana Appiah Mensah is locked up. Because in court in Dubai, the CEO of Horizon said that he inserted Nana Appiah Mensah's name in it. He didn't know for sure that Nana Appiah Mensah had scammed him. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Listen to the lawyer of Nana Appiah Mensah in court in Ghana. He said, it bears noting that according to Interpol regulations, a red notice is a request to law enforcement worldwide to locate and provisionally arrest a person pending extradition. It is unequivocally recognized by the legal and law enforcement communities worldwide that the issuance of red notice is premised on the whereabouts of the individual in question being unknown. At this point, Nana Appiah Mensah, the government of Ghana, Yoko knew where Nana Appiah Mensah was. And I'm going to tell you the date and time when Nana Appiah Mensah notified Yoko where he was. Now, it goes on to say, officials from the Ghana embassy in UAE were constantly in touch with Mr. Mensah on almost a weekly basis. They were constantly in touch with Mr. Mensah on almost a weekly basis, and a high-level Ghana government delegation visited Mr. Mensah on the 17th of January 2019. Mr. Mensah himself called the Economic and Organized Crime Office Yoko on the 5th. Now, remember that this Interpol alert was sent out on the 11th. Nana Appiah Mensah also called Yoko to tell them their whereabouts. It was approximately 3 p.m. UAE time to tell them where he was. But on the 11th, a red notice was issued on Nana Appiah Mensah. Before I end this first part of this expose, I would like to ask a few questions. Why haven't the police gone after these two criminals? Yes, the Nigerian and the Ghanaian. And we know the bank they withdrew the $50 million from. Why haven't the police investigated that? I would also like to ask, why was Hobson Adoye sacked from the Ghana airport? These are questions, and I will bring you answers. I also want to know, who is Charles Daraku, the Ghanaian who helped the Nigerian to dupe Horizon Company of $50 million? I'll bring you the full profile of this guy in the next episode. I also would like to ask, how did the government of Ghana come to $1.6 billion when they told us before that Nana Appiah Mensah owed $1.2 million? I also have answers here I'll be telling my fellow Ghanaians. And finally, does the CEO of Horizon Company, yes, the CEO of Horizon Company in Dubai, have any connections with anybody in the government of Ghana or Yoko and SEC? These are questions that I'll be giving you answers. I have documents. I have email trackings. We've intercepted so many things. And I'll let Ghanaians know the truth behind Nana Appiah Mensah's incarceration. Finally, I would like to ask men good customers. Yes, it's a simple advice and it's also a question that if Francis Agodi, the person suing Nana Appiah Mensah and 16,000 others, decide to withdraw the case against Nana Appiah Mensah today because Nana Appiah Mensah tells him in the face that he's going to pay him whatever he owes him, what case is the government going to have against Nana Appiah Mensah? Men's good customers, I've always said that I'm just a messenger. I'm here to tell you the truth. But men's good customers, the honest truth is, don't allow people to use your foolishness to fool you. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kevin Ekobedu Taylor, and this is With All Due Respect. Hi, my name is Kevin Taylor, host of With All Due Respect. As you know, With All Due Respect has been self-produced for the past 3 years. We have not accepted any money or resources outside in order to maintain the integrity of the platform. We are an anti-corruption platform. Our work doesn't excite or encourage compromised stakeholders. That also means we cannot take funds from just anyone. As our platform grows, the need for increased quality of work and production requires increased resources during this election year and beyond. In order to maintain our anti-corruption stance and continue to speak for everyday people without clout or connections in higher places, we cannot rely on the same entities we critique for continually keeping their hands in the cookie jar to be the ones who keep our work going. In that view, I welcome your support and participation in keeping this work ongoing. This platform is for the people, so we think it is only right for the people to sustain it. Now, this is a simple thing you have to do. Just visit patreon.com/withallduerespect, patreon.com/withallduerespect, or click the link at the bottom of the video. For Ghanaians or our viewers in Ghana, we are putting together a Ghanaian payment processor on our website. Please, and please again, do not send any donation to any platform apart from patreon.com/withallduerespect or loudsilenceradio.com donation page. You can donate as low as $10. Yes, $10, and we have exciting packages for every level of donation, including one-on-one call with me, Kevin Ekobedu Taylor, access to some of the documents before they go live. You can also have dinner with me in Washington, D.C. to discuss the issues. My fellow Ghanaians, remember, it's Patreon, patreon.com/withallduerespect. Hi, my name is Kevin Taylor, host of With All Due Respect. Hi, my name is Kevin Taylor. I promised that I was going to tell you the people behind the struggle of Nana Appiah Mensah. This is a special edition. respect, today I'll be telling you the people, yes, the politicians, the lawyers, the institutional heads who are behind the ordeal or were behind the scandal surrounding Nam1's business and the incarceration of Nanapia Mensah. As you can see on my right, the first guy there is called Ade. He is the Nigerian guy who posed as the prince of the Ashanti Kingdom when they met Horizon Royal Diamond. The one on his left is his counterpart, Charles Opoku Dakun, the Ghanaian, who made sure, who actually started all this fraud. He is a Ghanaian, he's based in Accra, and I'll be telling you about him. The last time, these were the two guys I was talking about. These were the two guys who actually masterminded the fraud against the Dubai company. You can also see on the far left that there's this old man. Yes, his name is KK Amwa. He is the former Yoko boss. He's the immediate former Yoko boss. I'll talk to you about this man too. And as you can see, the Honorable is Anan Ankuma. Everybody knows it's Anan Ankuma. He's a renowned lawyer, and he's the kind of person who thinks that he can criticize people, but nobody has the right to criticize him because he's smarter than everybody else. He is smarter than everybody else in Ghana. Today, I'm going to break it down. This issue is not going anywhere. I'm going to make sure that I will reveal each and every single person who is involved in this Nam1 issue. We are going to make sure that the truth is thrown at Ghanaians for them to make their own judgment. Now let's start this show today with our friend Eairs Anan Ankuma. Eairs Anan Ankuma is a lawyer, and as everybody knows, he's a renowned lawyer in Ghana. Everybody knows him. He's very vocal on TV, on radio. Now he's even around the country reading books to kids. Yes, he's reading books because his belly is full. Now, Eairs Ankuma actually works for Benti, H.O. Letza, and Ankuma Law Firm. It's a big law firm. Everybody knows about them. But somebody's going to ask, why is Ankuma in this Nam1 issue? Why is Ankuma? Eairs Ankuma is the perfect guy. Eairs Ankuma has been doing his job perfectly. He doesn't actually have anything connected to Nam1, or he doesn't actually have any crime connected to him as a lawyer. Now, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to make sure you make your own judgment after this episode. This episode is packed with evidence pointing to so many people, very, very visible evidence that you can make your own deductions after I am done. Now, the reason why I want to start with Eairs Ankuma is simple. Now, we know the story about Nanapia Mensah, how Nanapia Mensah got caught in Dubai when he was trying to go get his 750 kilograms of gold worth $39 million. The reason why the Horizon company came to Ghana was because they had first-class evidence. They had pictures. They had statements. You know, when these guys traveled all the way to Dubai, there were CCTVs, they caught them, so many. They had evidence to prove that they knew the people who defrauded them. They knew the two fraudsters. And these guys were the guys they were coming after because they knew that these guys were based in Ghana. So Horizon Royal Diamond came to Ghana, and God being so good, the lawyer they found to help them approach Yoko about this issue is Eairs Anan Ankuma. This guy. So technically in Ghana, Eairs Anan Ankuma is the first person who came in contact with Horizon Royal Diamond about this case. When I say in contact, it's the first person who heard Royal Diamond make a complaint about this case. And the funny thing is, they sat with Eairs Ankuma and explained to him. They showed him details, how it started and where it ended. They showed him pictures of the people involved in this crime. They showed him the pictures of Charles Opoku Dakun. They showed him pictures of Ade, the criminal. Eairs, as a very, very renowned lawyer, knew what he was getting into. And he nodded to these people and said, you know what? I'll take the case. I'll make sure that these fraudsters, they are Ghanaians, and they are arrested. So Horizon actually put so much faith in Eairs Anan Ankuma. And then Eairs Anan Ankuma said that, you know what? I'm going to talk to Yoko, and we're going to make sure that the legal processes are being adhered to. Now, don't forget that Eairs Anan Ankuma's uncle is KK Amwa, who is the former Yoko boss. So there's a telepathic play here, you know, synchronizing and the systematic coercion. So Eairs Ankuma actually made it easy for Yoko and said, you know what? I have direct contact with the head of Yoko. I can make sure this works. the same time, Nana Appiah-Mensah had heard on TV and on radio that he was practicing a Ponzi scheme and that he has defrauded a company in Dubai. So Nana Appiah-Mensah actually contacted Horizon Royal and said that he needed Horizon Royal to write a disclaimer so that the world will know that he never defrauded them and that he has been working with them for 4 years. And Esankuma had this information. He had the first class, straight up information. This evidence were with Esankuma from the beginning, when Nam1 was struggling with the government of Ghana, was struggling with everybody in Ghana that he is not a money launderer. He has not defrauded anybody outside Ghana and his client Horizon Royal. Now the funny thing is Anana Nkrumah never makes a statement. So Nkrumah drags his feet. Yes, after he had a conversation with his uncle, KK Amwa, and other people in government who are more interested in this issue than even Nana Appiah-Mensah. I will tell you about these people. Nkrumah drags the issue. He makes it a back and forth issue, and Horizon loses interest. Now Horizon goes back. Yes, Horizon goes back to Dubai to meet Nana Appiah-Mensah because they had only one plan now. Ghanaians are playing them. They went all the way to Ghana to contact Yoko, which is the right company that directed them to Nam1 in the first place, and also directed them to Just Gold, which is being owned by Ade, who posed as the prince of the Ashanti Kingdom. But Yoko is doing nothing. So now they had no option than to take the best option, and the best option was to make sure that when Nana Appiah-Mensah comes to Dubai or goes to Dubai for his 750 kilograms gold worth 39 million, they are going to arrest Nana Appiah-Mensah and make sure that Nana Appiah-Mensah is kept behind bars. So that is when the CEO of Horizon Royal inserted Nana Appiah-Mensah's name in his police statement in Dubai. So when Nana Appiah-Mensah was going to Dubai, there was already a plan. There was already a trap for Nana Appiah-Mensah. But we shouldn't forget that before Nana Appiah-Mensah left for Dubai, somebody came on his Twitter, Gabi Ochidako, made that statement that Nana Appiah-Mensah has escaped and that he has jumped bail, and that Nana Appiah-Mensah should be seen as a criminal and that Interpol alert should be placed on him. Don't also forget that the Statesman's newspaper is the first newspaper to publish that Nana Appiah-Mensah has defrauded Horizon Royal Diamond. So you see the connection. Anana Nkrumah was directly in contact with Gabi Ochidako to make sure that Nana Appiah-Mensah was discredited and tagged as a criminal. But someone is going to ask, why did they do that? I'm going to tell you the connections in this government and the connections where we are not getting it right. The connection is simple. This picture started floating on social media and everybody after Kwesi Nantachi's scandal. Now, the government tried everything possible to make sure that they disassociated Nana Appiah-Mensah from the president, to make sure the president was exonerated. That is the current word now. The president was exonerated from any crime. The president was seen as cleaner than Nana Appiah-Mensah. So the best thing to do was to take Nana Appiah-Mensah out of the picture and then paint Nana Appiah-Mensah black. Interest of Gabi Ochidako and the interest of Nkrumah and the interest of Nkrumah's uncle, who is the former boss who was overseeing this case, that was their motive. Nkrumah was on TV, he was on radio, he granted interviews, he made sure to paint Nana Appiah-Mensah black for Ghanaians to think that this boy was actually practicing a Ponzi scheme, and that if he goes to Dubai and that the people in Dubai says he has defrauded them, that is not far from the evidence. That is not far from that. A money launderer, a fraudster can also put together a Ponzi scheme. So Nana Appiah-Mensah, a perfect picture, a perfect mosaic, a perfect picture was painted for Nana Appiah-Mensah, and he fit perfectly in the character Nkrumah and his cronies wanted him to fit. So basically, Nam1 was locked up, and then Statesman came out, Gabi Ochidako gave clues, and it happened and it worked out perfectly. Now, we shouldn't forget that Horizon Royal came to Ghana and they met Nkrumah not to just have a normal discussion. They met Nkrumah because they wanted to retrieve their $51 million, which Ade and Charles defrauded or took from them. $10 million out of the $51 million dropped in that account at Fidelity branch at ANC Mall. Now, this is what happened. When that money dropped, the FIC of Yoko, the Financial Intelligence Center of Yoko, blocked the money because they didn't know where the money was coming from and which business transaction that money was actually going to be used for. So they called the person who was going to receive the money. And God being so good, the person who was going to receive the money was Charles Opoku-Daku, the second fraudster, the man who masterminded this 51 million fraud. Opoku-Daku comes to FIC, and you have to know that FIC is one of the most sensitive departments at Yoko. Opoku-Daku has friends all over that place because that guy has been called, or he has been pointed out in several serious scandals, from cocaine to whatever. That guy named, so Yoko is his normal working place. He goes there every day. He knows everybody there. Now they call him and be like, you know what? Come to the office. He goes to the office. He meets KK Amwa, the former Yoko boss, and they're like, you know, we can't. Yes, we can't actually give you that money because the rules and the laws of the land says that you have to prove more than beyond reasonable doubt to get access to this $10 million, even though you state that you are an estate agent. Now, this is what happens. Yoko says that, you know what? You have to go to court and prove to court that you deserve this money and that you have a business or a client who is purchasing houses. That's the excuse or the reason Charles gave to Yoko is that the person who sent him the $10 million is his client or a customer, if you want us to put it that way, and that he's purchasing 4 houses from him in East Legon. And those 4 houses, each of them cost $2.5 million. So in total, they're all $10 million. So Yoko said, no problem. Now go to court. Yes, they know. They've been doing this for years. Yoko, they have been doing this for years. Go to court and go take clearance that everything you said here is the right way. Yoko now tells Charles that they have a lawyer for him. Yoko gives Charles a lawyer to go to court, to go fight for him so that he could get his 10 million. Yoko gave Charles a lawyer. And the lawyer's name is Lawyer Augustine Obo. That guy used to be the former chief state attorney. So that guy, he knows the law. He has been at the courthouses. That is how weak our judicial system is. This guy works with the judges. He knows what to say to get that thing done. And Yoko has been working with this lawyer, and they know it's a cartel. It's a chain of command. Now, Augustine Abo takes over the case. God being so good, as I always say, he wins. And the court says that go and take the $10 million. So Charles comes, and then he goes with the document and like, hey, the court says I'm the right person to take the $10 million. So he takes over the money. He takes the $10 million. But don't forget that from what we know, $600,000 of that money was shared at Yoko. There are names here, yes, and I'm going to mention those names. I want people to come out and deny, because when you have the fact, you wait for people to fall in the trap and you tell them. The same as Ace Ananankuma. This guy, he had the party, the president, the vice president, the finance minister. They were all at the party. Yes, Gabi Ochirako, everybody. It's a normal lawyer, but why? There's a connection. This guy is so glued, he's so glued to the Jubilee House, so glued to these politicians that he's basically their surrogate. He goes on TV, goes on radio to paint Nana Mensah black, even though he has the hard evidence that Nana Mensah never committed any crime. Nana Mensah is not practicing any Ponzi scheme in Ghana, but this guy is Sankuma. Ace Ankuma. The almighty Ace Ankuma is the first person who knew that Nana Mensah wasn't guilty on this issue. Now, this is what happens. After the guy takes the $10 million, $600,000 is shared at Yoko. And the list is here. You see, I keep telling people, we don't just say things because we want to disrespect anybody or we want to go against them. We say things because we have hard copies and hard evidence to it. $600,000 was shared, so the issue was discontinued. Now, I would like to ask, when this issue came up, Yoko boss should have known. He knew that Charles and Ade were the suspect, and they were the right suspect because the Horizon Company came down to Ghana to report them. They had the evidence. Why didn't they report it to the IGP? Why didn't they report it to the Attorney General? Why didn't they report it to the right quarters, the Foreign Affairs Minister? Why? It is because it was a political thing. They wanted to make sure that Nana Mensah is taken out of the picture to clear the precedent. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. This is the hard truth. My fellow Ghanaians, I am here to let you know where the money ended. We are following the money and we will get to the last cent. So this is what happened. Sankuma basically committed crime. He committed treason. He sold his country. Yes, he sold his country to another country, all because the enviness, the greed. These people, he should come out and defend himself that he never knew from the start. Sankuma should come out. Yoko boss, KK Amwa, former Yoko boss, they should all come out to tell us they never knew that Charles and Ade were the fraudsters, and that when Horizon came, they didn't show them hard copies and pictures of these guys defrauding them. This is how bad our country is, my fellow Ghanaians. This is how bad. And you know what hurts? What hurts is Namwan was painted so black to the point that the guy could not clear himself. I don't care if Namwan's registration of his companies had some lapses. It is right for the law to deal with him. But for a lawyer to have hardcore evidence about fraudsters who have defrauded a foreign company over $50 million and to keep that, stuck that in your dirty ass, come sit on TV and speak like you know nothing about it, it is disgusting. And these people have to be spoken against. These are liars who walk around telling people that they have credit. They have nothing. My fellow Ghanaians, let's get real here. The Bank of Ghana wasn't able to sue Namwan because they knew that Namwan wasn't taking deposits. Namwan wasn't taking deposits. Namwan, he wasn't taking deposit. Namwan was doing a gold business. He was working within the confinements, the regulations of the institutions. I mean, the Bank of Ghana and the Security Exchange Commission. Why do you think Bank of Ghana couldn't sue Namwan? Why do you think SEC couldn't sue Namwan? It is because they knew the guy was working in the frame of the law. And that if there were lapses in his business, it was an academic thing to do, whereby they were supposed to call him, rectify the situation. It does not mean Namwan has to be behind bars today as I speak, because the guy had some lapses in registering his company. They set a trap and they put Namwan in there. This is absurd, my fellow Ghanaians. My fellow Ghanaians, the honest truth is, we have names. Every week I'll be releasing this Namwan scandal. I'll make sure the truth comes out. This guy has to come out of prison and pay his client. Namwan should be able to step out of cells. He should be able to step out of prison and engage his customers and pay them. Namwan can't be behind cells because he registered a company that people think that the registration wasn't the perfect one. That one can be sorted. His passport can be seized. Namwan's passport can be seized. He can be under our house arrest. But he has the right to enjoy the first fundamental right of every human being. That is his freedom to move around and speak to his fellow Ghanaians, especially his customers, about the plans and how he plans to pay them. That is how we treat humans. These people are liars. These people you see on your TV, on your radio, on your whatever, they are liars. They cook up stories and they frame people up. I am not here to defend Namwan. I am here to make sure the right thing is done and justice is served. My fellow Ghanaians, this is just the beginning. I am going to bring out names, email chats, text messages, WhatsApp conversations about how these fraudsters were able to penetrate the government, were able to pay people off. Media men who have paid hard currencies to make sure that Nana Mensah takes this blame. Your chats are here. Your emails are here. Your WhatsApp messages are all here. Everybody who took a penny to make sure that Nana Mensah took blame for what he did not commit, we will make sure that everybody is disclosed. This country has come too far to allow such dimwits, such criminals and thugs to take over this nation. My fellow Ghanaians, my name is Kevin Ekobedu Taylor, and this is With All Due Respect. my name is Kevin Taylor, host of With All Due Respect. As you know, With All Due Respect has been self-produced for the past 3 years. We have not accepted any money or resources outside in order to maintain the integrity of the platform. We are an anti-corruption platform. Our work doesn't excite or encourage compromised stakeholders. That also means we cannot take funds from just anyone. As our platform grows, the need for increased quality of work and production requires increased resources during this election year and beyond. In order to maintain our anti-corruption stance and continue to speak for everyday people without clout or connections in higher places, we cannot rely on the same entities we critique for continually keeping their hands in the cookie jar to be the ones who keep our work going. In that view, I welcome your support and participation in keeping this work ongoing. This platform is for the people, so we think it is only right for the people to sustain it. Now, this is a simple thing you have to do. Just visit patreon.com/withallduerespect. patreon.com/withallduerespect, or click the link at the bottom of the video. For Ghanaians or our viewers in Ghana, we are putting together a Ghanaian payment processor on our website. Please again, do not send any donation to any platform apart from patreon.com/withallduerespect or loudsilenceradio.com donation page. You can donate as low as $10. Yes, $10, and we have exciting packages for every level of donation, including one-on-one call with me, Kevin Ekobedu Taylor, access to some of the documents before they go live. You can also have dinner with me in Washington, D.C. to discuss the issues. My fellow Ghanaians, remember, it's Patreon, patreon.com/withallduerespect. Hi, my name is Kevin Taylor, host of With All Due Respect. As you know, With All Due Respect has been self-produced for the past 3 years. We have not accepted any money or resources outside in order to maintain the integrity of the platform. We are an anti-corruption platform. Our work doesn't excite or encourage compromised stakeholders. That also means we cannot take funds from just anyone. Hi, my name is Kevin Taylor. Today I'm going to tell you the secret behind the PDS scandal. This is With All Due Respect. So, with all due respect, I'd like my fellow Ghanaians to understand that this PDS scandal is bigger than we think. Yes, it is bigger because the United States government is interested. It is bigger because a group of people in Ghana in politics, close relations, people who are greedy are involved in this. And that we have to go to the bottom of this, chase the last cent involved in this PDS scandal. Now, I'd like to tell my fellow Ghanaians that be focused. It's a simple statement. Be focused. There's so many news going around about tardy girls, the obstructions and all that. We know the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the IGP, and the security couples have assured us that they know where the girls are. So if some bones or some body parts have been found, it does not mean that those are the girls. We are taking the word of the IGP and the president that those girls will be found. As it stays now, we have to be focused and think about what is really happening. And what is really happening is the PDS scandal. Now, as everybody can see on social media, I think from yesterday, the United States government, basically the U.S. Embassy in Ghana, has released a statement saying that they want the Ghana government to have a thorough investigation, investigation into this PDS scandal, because they think that something sketchy is happening and they think there's been some corruption detected. Now, one would say, why is the United States government involved in this? It is simple. This is the role the United States played. Through their Millennium Challenge account, they gave Ghana $580 million to help ECG. They are very much interested, not because they just want to be involved in anything. They are interested because their money is in there. Now, let's go to the real issues. But before I start the real issues, I want Ghanaians to understand that a media house like Multimedia and Peace FM, people have to understand that these two media houses have made it a point to, yes, to skew the issue, have made it a point to protect some individuals. If you hear Kwame Sifakai throwing things out there saying PDS hasn't done anything wrong, some individuals, you have to understand he's got his own personal interest. He is a friend to the owner of that barbershop. Yeah, he's on their billboards. And when also you hear Multimedia making noise about having documents about how some people are being framed, we need them to bring those documents out. Yes, they are also shielding people like Philip Ayensu, because Philip Ayensu, yes, he used to be the head of marketing at Multimedia. So, you know, these media houses have their own interests. So Ghanaians, we have to be smart. We have to look at the right source. If you want to follow this story, I can tell people where to go. You can, you know, the Herald newspaper is one of the newspapers that broke this story. And they have followed this story thoroughly. And I've also followed them. And I think they are giving us the right info. So if you want the right info on this issue, this PDS scandal, you can start listening or reading the Herald newspaper, and they will help you out. I've read it, and I think it makes sense a lot. They actually started this investigation, and we should applaud that newspaper for that. Now, just put this aside. What is PDS? Let's make this simple. PDS is a cluster of companies that was vetted by MEDA. MEDA is the Millennium Development Authority. They vetted a few companies, and after they vetted these companies, they got 5 companies they put together. When they put these 5 companies together, they call them PDS. That's the Power Distribution Service. Simple. Don't make it so complicated. Now, in these five companies which were chosen, 2 were foreign companies. One of them was a Filipino company, and one was is a company people said is from Angola. The reason why I'm saying that is a fictitious company. The one from Angola, I'll explain that to you. But before that, let me tell you the 5 companies which were selected and put together as PDS. The first one was Manila Electric. We have Enagia SA. Remember this name, Enagia SA. It is supposed to be coming from Angola. We have Santa Baron Ventures. It's a Ghanaian company. We have TG Energy Solution and TGS Energy, the same. TBK Ghana Limited. So these are the 5 companies that were put together or as a consortium that could work as PDS. Now, I'm going to tell you the names or characters who actually played vital role in PDS. Names and characters who are actually involved in this PDS scandal. I'm going to list their names. I'm going to tell you and show them show you their pictures. And then later, I'll give a profile of these people, because we need to build a story here. We need to let Ghanaians understand what this PDS scandal is about. Now, the first person I would like you people to look at or to put in your books is Philip Ayensu. Philip Ayensu is on the board of the NCA and is also the board chair of PDS. When they put these 5 companies together, they elected somebody as the chairman. And he, Philip Ayensu, was made the chairman. There is David Asare. He's also owner of TG Energy Solutions. They are one of the 5 companies that came together to form PDS. Remember this name, Sufaya Koko. Sufaya Koko, she works at Dankwa Institute. Dankwa Institute, that's where she works. And she works for a law firm, which I'm going to tell you about. Remember Ejapa Mesa. Ejapa Mesa is the MP for Sekondi. Everybody knows Ejapa Mesa. He was very influential in this issue. He has been in parliament. He's talked on this issue. I'll also give you a profile of Ejapa Mesa. Yofi Grant, he is the Ghana Investment Promotion Center boss. He actually heads the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, as you can see here. There's Kelly Kajepo. He's the board chairman of the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG. Kelly Kajepo. He is the board chairman of ECG. Then Ken Oforiatta, the current finance minister of Ghana, and also he is the co-founder of Enterprise Group. Remember this. Ken Oforiatta is the finance minister and also the co-founder of Enterprise Group and also Data Bank. Then there's Akoto Ampao. He came into the picture later, but his impact has really turned the tables. Akoto Ampao works at the law firm of the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. You remember this guy was considered to be, the president was considering him as the special prosecutor, but later the parrot, Martin Amidu, was made the special prosecutor. So Akoto Ampao too is another character in this PDS scandal you have to look out for. Then there's Martin Ison Benjamin. This Martin Ison Benjamin is the boss of MEDA. Now, what is MEDA? MEDA is the Millennium Development Authority. The Millennium Development Authority basically did everything. They were the ones who vetted these 5 companies and actually were satisfied with all the documents they put in front of them. The financial documents, the technical know-how, the detail, everything. So this guy was the head of MEDA, and they were the guys who told government, we are satisfied with these 5 companies and that we can put them together as PDS and they can go ahead and do their job, collect electricity bills, and make sure the maintenance and everything is. So this guy basically is the man who was behind PDS. He and his outfit gave Ghanaians PDS because they said they have done a thorough job, due diligence on PDS, meaning all the 5 companies. Remember this name, Martin is son Benjamin. Now let's move on. We are going to talk about the political connections. And the political connections is about how these people are connected to each other and why they are on boards and why today there's a problem. Now let's start with TGS Engineering. It's one of the companies that was put together as PDS. It was registered by Ejapa Mesa for David Asare. I hope you remember David Asare. David Asare, he's the owner of TGS Energy Solutions. This same company, Philip Ayensu says that he's the owner. So we have 2 owners for TGS, which is part of PDS. Now the funny thing is, Ejapa Mesa registered TGS for David Asare as a lawyer. Ejapa Mesa, remember, he's the MP for 2nd D. He registered this company for David Asare. And then he played a role as a secretary. The MP, Ejapa Mesa, he played a role as a director. He also played a role as a lawyer. And he also played a major role as an MP. So one person, a lawyer, a secretary, and a director, he wants to tell us Ghanaians that he never had any influence in this PDS deal. He wants to tell us Ghanaians that when he was sitting in parliament and he was contributing and voting on this issue, there was no conflict of interest. I think he should tell this to the horses, because with me, my little knowledge, I know this guy is a first-class corporate in this issue. Because you can be a director, you can be a director, and you can be a secretary, and you can be a lawyer. I think he has questions to answer. Now, I talked about Sophia Koko. The Sophia Koko lady, she is directly connected to the Dankwa Institute. Now, her law firm is called Minka Premo Law Firm. That is where she works. She's also a director at TGS Energy Solutions. This is the same company that Ejapa Mesa registered. He is saying that he registered for David Asare. So just do the connections. Let's keep going. Yeah, this one is going to be a very complicated one, my fellow Ghanaians. So we should take our time and follow the story. Now, I mentioned Yofi Grant. He is the boss of Ghana Investment Promotion, right? Yeah, Yofi Grant. The reason why his name comes in is because I told you about Enagia SA, which is an Angolan company. It is one of the 5 companies that was picked and put together to the other 4 companies to become PDS. Now, when the address of this company was traced, it went all the way straight to Yofi Grant's office in Ghana. This company says they are based in Angola, but when the address was traced, where do they live in Angola, where is the contact, it goes all the way to a building in Accra on this address, 23 Switchback Road, Cantonment. It went into that building and it ended up in Yofi Grant's office. When I say Yofi Grant's office, not the office he occupies as a GIPC boss. His personal private company, that is his personal office. That is where the address ended. Now we have to understand that Yofi Grant's company, Grant Dupree, is also based in Ghana. And then this company, which is part of PDS, shares the same address. Yes, they share the same address with Grant Dupree, which is Yofi Grant's company. This will pop up later. My fellow Ghanaians, follow the line. Just focus. What I'm telling you, there are names here, there are figures here, there are contradictions here, but focus. And I'm going to tell you where the scandal started and why we should be serious about this issue. This is one of the biggest scandal to hit this country as a nation, and we have to help the world to know it, because the MPP party communicators have made every Ghanaian understand that we can send our story out there to the New York Times, to the Washington Post, to the Guardian. We also have to help them, for them to understand that this is what is happening in Ghana, and that if the American government wants to do an investigation, we are here to help them know the people involved in this super hefty scandal. Now, let's move on. In the building where Yofi Grant has his company, Grant Dupree, where the Angolan company's address was traced, in this same building, that building belongs to Ken Oforiatta. Yes, that same building belongs to Ken Oforiatta. And remember that Ken Oforiatta is the co-founder of Enterprise Group. Enterprise Group, what they do is they are into trustee, they are into life insurance, they are into property management, big stuff. This building belongs to Ken Oforiatta. He has his wife's office in there. Yeah, they have a funeral home. They are all in there. It belongs to Ken Oforiatta. And now, Ken Oforiatta, who is the owner of this building, is also connected to Yofi Grant. Let's move on. Don't say anything. I'm going to show you the connection here. Now, let's talk about Kelly Kajepo. Remember, I talked about Kelly Kajepo. He's the board chairman of ECG. Now, this guy is also the chief executive of Enterprise Group, which is partly owned by the finance minister, Ken Oforiatta. Don't get confused. Ken Oforiatta is a co-founder of Enterprise Group. The Enterprise Group's office is in the building where Yofi Grant's company is, Grand Dupree. Grand Dupree shares the same address with the Angola company, which is part of PDS. The Angola company we know nothing about, we can't trace. Their address goes straight into Yofi Grant's office. Now, Kelly Kajepo also is the CEO, is the chief executive officer of the Enterprise Group, which is owned by Ken Oforiatta. So there's a link there. Let's keep going. And don't forget that Ken Oforiatta, Yofi Grant, Kelly Kajepo, and Togbe Afedi, these are the guys who came together to form Data Bank. Ken Oforiatta, Yofi Grant, Kelly Kajepo, and Togbe Afedi. These people came together to form Data Bank. The only person we are not seeing here is Togbe Afedi. He is the person who is not showing up in this PDS scandal. But apart from Togbe Afedi, those people we can see in this scandal are Ken Oforiatta, Yofi Grant, and Kelly Kajepo. Let's move on. We are not done there. Now, remember I mentioned Martin Ison Benjamin. He is a crucial person in this scandal. The reason is this guy is the boss of MEDA, the Millennium Development Authority. They are the guys who, at the end of the day, cleared these 5 companies and said they have done due diligence. They know that these guys have the financial muscle. They have the technical know-how to take up this job. So this guy played a vital role in the beginning of this. This guy is a member of the board. He's on the board of Enterprise Group, which is partly owned by Ken Oforiatta. This guy is also on the board of Enterprise Group. So if you notice, Enterprise Group is like a hub. All these guys are around it, and that is where they feed. That is where they suck the blood. And that is the headquarters. And this Enterprise Group belongs to Ken Oforiatta, the finance minister. And you have to understand, this issue came about, this fracas and all that started when Ken Oforiatta got angry about something. We will get there, but I want people to understand. He is on the board of Enterprise Group. Yes, this company belongs to the Enterprise Group. I said partly belongs to Ken Oforiatta and Kelly Kajepo. I hope you remember Kelly Kajepo. He is a board chairman of the ECG. So Kelly Kajepo and Ken Oforiatta are behind Enterprise Group. After Parliament approved it in July, there was supposed to be some restructuring. That is what caused all this. The restructuring was that PDS wrote to MEDA and said that, you know what, we wanted to bring 3 companies on board to help us. That is part of the restructuring. Now, the reason why they wrote to MEDA was because they thought MEDA started this process. MEDA is the Millennium Development Authority headed by Martin Ison Benjamin. So they wrote to them, with all due respect, MEDA, we want to bring these companies on board. Ghana Infrastructure Investment, PBK World Plus Limited, Anthony Otin AJ Company, to come on board to help PDS. They did that because they know MEDA had the authority to do that. It was part of the restructuring. Now, some people in Parliament and government got angry. On the 27th of March, the finance minister, Ken Oforiatta, also decided to write a letter to MEDA to tell them that he's putting together a team, a committee, which is going to be headed by Akoto Ampao, lawyer Akoto Ampao, who works at the law firm of the sitting president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He wants that guy to take over that committee and make those restructuring possible. Now, this is where the resistance started. This is the beginning of the end for this PDS scandal. My fellow Ghanaians, this is just the beginning. In the next episode, I'll be telling you what caused all this leakage in this PDS scandal. But before I leave, I have some few questions to ask these people involved in this scandal. My first question goes to the boss of MEDA, yes, Martin Ison Benson. I would like to ask him, how did they select these companies? It's a simple question. How did MEDA select these companies? I also would like to ask him, how transparent was the process? He has to answer these questions. These are simple questions because his answers will guide us in the next episode. How transparent was the process? Now, I would also like to ask, what is the relationship between Ken Oforiatta, the Maida boss, who is his son Benson, and also the board chair of the Electricity Company Limited, who is in the name of Kelly Kejepo? What is the relationship between Ken, the Maida boss, and the EC board chair? I also like to ask the energy minister. I would like to ask the information minister. I would like to ask the finance minister that which specific document was forged and by which company? This is a simple question because they raised that issue. The government raised that issue. Which specific document was forged and by which company? When I say which company, there were 5 companies that came together to form PDS. We would like to know which specific company forged those documents. Now, I'd like to ask the finance minister, or I'd like to ask that who gave the finance minister the power to set up that committee that he wanted Ampel to lead? Who gave him that power? Is it the constitution or his office? Who gave him that power or that audacity or authority to set up that committee? My fellow Ghanaians, this and many more in the next episode. In the next episode, we will be looking at the people involved critically. I told you, be focused. Look at the issues. Forget about the distractions. Chase the last cent. That is what we are looking at. We need to find the culprits in this massive scandal. And I'll do my best to bring you the right information. Trust me, undiluted information on this show with all due respect. My name is Kevin Ekobedu Taylor, and this is With All Due Respect. Hi, my name is Kevin Taylor. I would like to ask, who is the brain behind Thriller in Manila? This is With All Due Respect. With all due respect, my fellow Ghanaians, there's one thing I always say: focus. Let's be focused, because we can't be distracted by anything. We can't be distracted by the media men who have been paid to push this PDS scandal under the carpet. We can't be distracted by the politicians. We can't be distracted by the family and friends governing this nation today. We can't also be distracted by the jargons and the big English people are throwing out there, confuse you and I so that we don't get to know the truth. This is the part 2 of the PDS scandal. Today, I'm going to tell my fellow Ghanaians who is behind the smoke screen. In the first episode, I told Ghanaians the people who were fronting for these criminals who have been able to, or who managed to use the American money, the $380 million which was sent to ECG to at least help ECG get to where they want to get to. Today, I'm going to tell you the people, yes, the people who actually made this happen. Forget about David Asare. Forget about the Philip Ayensus and the Yofi Grants. They were just dummies used to front this big scandal. Today, I'm going to reveal to Ghanaians the people behind this scandal. Today, I'm going to break it down. I'm going to make it simple. And I'm going to make every single Ghanaian understand why the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is the mastermind behind this PDS scandal. Yes, I said it. The president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is the man behind the scenes. He is pulling the strings. Gabi Ochidako, Ken Ofori-Atta, they are all dummies he's using. But the person who calls the shot in this PDS scandal is the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He went to Angola to do a cover-up. He went to Angola to lie. The real issues are here, and I'm going to break it down for my fellow Ghanaians to know. Now, let's just step back a little bit. You know, PDS, actually, the process started before MPP took office. That was around 2015. Actually, they had 6 companies which were shortlisted. Yes, 6 companies. And these companies were EDF. They were from France. Then there's BXC Ghana. Yes, it's a consortium in China that owns the BXC company. Now, we had CH Group Ghana. It was also one of the companies that was shortlisted. We had Veolia. It was a French company. It was also from France. There was Tata Power. That company was from India. And then Meralco from the Philippines. Now, all these companies were shortlisted. And then they went through a process, 2-stage process. The first process is the RFQ process. That is the request for qualification. Now, the RFQ, which is very vital, stated that no foreign company could be added to this list after they have passed this stage. Now, this is what happens. After the change of government, the president strategically made 2 changes. Yes, at MEDA and also ECG. Now, he made Kelly Kajapo, who was part of Enterprise Group and still part of Enterprise Group, the head or the board chair of ECG. Then he made Martin Ison Benjamin. Yes, Martin Ison Benjamin, the head of MEDA. So he appointed these 2 people strategically and placed them there. Now the table started to shake a little bit. This is what happened. BXC Ghana, which had done business with ECG before, they even gave ECG in the past $200 million without guarantees. They worked with ECG before. They had the technical know-how, and also they were financially stable. These guys, the excuse was that they had foreknowledge about ECG, something. You know, Ison Benjamin came out with something, and these guys were frustrated. They were kicked out of the deal. Now, CH Group, they were kicked out of the deal. Veolia from France, they were kicked out of the group. Tata Power, they were also kicked out of the deal. Now, it was left with just Meralco from Philippines. Now, the local component comes in. These companies show up. TG Energy Solutions. TG Energy Solutions was fronted by David Asare. The real owner of TG Energy Solutions is Joseph Siao Japan, the owner of Zoom Lion. Forget about David Asare. He doesn't have a dime. This is the guy who is behind TG Energy Solutions. Now, there's TGS, which is also owned by Fred Asmeni. Fred Asmeni is affiliated to Joseph Siao Japan. Yes, the Zoom Lion boss. So technically, Joseph has shares in TGS. Now there was Santa Baron, is also linked to Gabi Ochidako, Ken Ofori-Atta, and Edward Ekufu. Edward Ekufu-Addo is the only brother to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I'll tell you about this guy as we move on. Then there was Meralco, which is a foreign company there. Then this is what happened. Now we have 4 companies put together who have made it to the second stage, which is the RFP. The Zoom Lion boss reaches out to Philip Ayensu. This is where Philip Ayensu comes in. This is where he comes in. He reaches out to Philip Ayensu because of his connection and direct link to the president. Philip Ayensu is a very good friend to the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He's a very good friend to Gabi Ochidako. In fact, he sold Gabi Ochidako's land to him. The land he's living on now, his house is built on now. Philip Ayensu sold that land to him. He is a very good friend to Edward Akufo-Addo, Nana Akufo-Addo's only brother. He's also a very good friend to Kenny Ken Oforiatta. Now, this is what the Zoom Lion guy does. He brings on Philip Ayensu and tells Philip Ayensu to get in there, convince the president that they can bring on board another investor, another foreign investor. Remember that in the part one, I told you that there was a building which was occupied by Yofi Grant. That same building was occupied by Ken Oforiatta and his wife and Enterprise Group. This same building had Philip Ayensu in there. Philip Ayensu had his office in that same building. Yes. So you have to see the connection. That's why when they were tracing the address of the Eneja SA people, it ended up in that building. Now let's push that aside. Philip Ayensu goes in with his influence. He's able to convince the president, convince Gabi Ochedakun, convince Ken Oforiatta and Edward Ekufuado that he has a friend. He's a business partner. His name is Rich. He has a friend who is a business partner. His name is Rich. He deals in oil and that he owns Eneja SA. Remember that at this point, we are at the second stage, which is the RFP. We have passed the RFQ, which is the request for qualification. We are at request for proposal. And when you pass the first stage, no foreign company can be brought into this deal. No foreign company, because it stated emphatically that after you pass the first stage, which is the RFQ, you can't bring in any foreign company. But MEDA accept Eneja SA at the second stage with the RFP. Yes, MEDA led by Martin Ison Benjamin, who was elected by the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, strategically accepted Eneja SA into the deal. So finally, PDS was formed. We got 5 companies. We have TG Energy Solutions, belonging to Joseph Siam, TGS, which belongs to Fred Asumeni, Santa Baron, linked to Gabi, Ken Oforiatta, and Nana Addo Dankwa's only brother, then Miracle and Eneja SA. So now we have PDS now. Now let's move on. The question becomes very simple. At this stage, is Eneja a local company or a foreign company? Because Eneja SA came in after they have passed the first stage, which is the RFQ. The laws or the regulations or the rules stated that no foreign company could come in after they have passed that stage. Now, this is the tricky part. Now, they say Miracle has 30%. It's a foreign company. They say Eneja SA has 19%, making it 49%. Clear, we get it. Eneja is a foreign company, even though at this point, Eneja is not legal to be in there as a foreign company. Now, let's see the local components. Santa Baron, TGS, TG Energy Solutions, they make up the 51%. Now the question is, if Eneja is a foreign company and did not pass the first stage, it means that Eneja does not qualify to be in there. Now, if Eneja is considered as a domestic or a local company, then it means that the local component of this deal is 70% and the foreign is 30%. Don't get confused. Let me explain that to you. Now, Miracle has 30% shares. Miracle went through the first stage and went through the second stage. Eneja SA did not go through the first stage, which is very crucial. The first stage, if you don't go through, no foreign company could be added to the second stage. Now, illegally, they were slotted in there and they went through the second stage. As it states now, let's say Eneja is a foreign company. They have 19%. Adding to the 30% of Miracle is 49%. The domestic coming together, they get 51%. This is the tricky part. If they say Eneja, and I know that is what they are trying to do now, change documents to come tell Ghanaians that Eneja is half domestic, half foreign, but basically it's domestic. No, Eneja, if Eneja is a Ghanaian company, then it means that we have been tricked. We have been tricked in the sense that the local component of this deal is they have 70% shares in this deal because Eneja falls under local company. Now, this is where we get to Thriller in Manila. This is Thriller in Manila. Now, I would like to ask, who actually formed Thriller in Manila? Thriller in Manila was a WhatsApp group put together by Gabi Ochedakun under the instructions, from the instructions of the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Now, this group was made up of only 12 people. 12 people. The group was put together. This is the date this WhatsApp group was put together. It was 08/06/2018. This is when Gabby Ochredakun put together this group. Today we're playing the chess game. There were 12 in there. I'm going to give Gabby Ochredakun 6 names. I'm going to hold on to the 6 names because I know he's going to come out and lie. I have chats. I'm going to show everybody what is happening here. The lies, the scandal. Now, the 6 names in this group, you will find Philip Ayensu. He was in this WhatsApp chat. Gabby Ochredakun, he is the administrator. Babatunde Ampa. If you don't know Babatunde Ampa, he's the Vice President, Corporate Finance, Data Bank. Yes, Babatunde Ampa is the Vice President, Corporate Finance at Data Bank. He was part of this Thriller in Manila WhatsApp group. Edward Ekufuado, he's the only brother of the president. He's sometimes called Bumpty. He was in this group too, as you can see his name. Then there was Kwame Ofosu Bamfo. Sickens was in there, in this group. Now, Narendra Swari. This Narendra Swari lady works at Gabby Ochredakun's law firm. She was in this group. This is the 6. I'll keep the 6 because we are playing a chess game here. The people we are dealing with are liars and criminals, and we have to be smarter than them. Let's move on. Why was this group put together, Thriller in Manila? I'm going to explain to Ghanaians why this group was put together. This group has nothing to do with PDS as it stands now. Nobody knows them. They don't have any connections. Maybe you might say Philip Ayensu. Gabby Ochredakun always says on his Twitter page, he has nothing to do with PDS. Babatunde Ampa, who is he? Nothing to do with PDS. Edward Ekufuado, the brother of the president, Ekufuado, nothing to do with PDS. Kwame Ofosu Bamfo, Sickens, very, very close to the president, nothing to do with PDS as it states. And the Swari lady, nothing. But their main or their core reason for putting together this WhatsApp group was because of PDS. And I'm going to read a statement made by Gabby Ochredakun. This statement was made in the group because some people in the group felt that their shares were going to be cut. The person who was actually raising the red flag or having concerns with this was Philip Ayensu. Now, this is what Gabby says in Thriller in Manila. He says, Philip, referring to Philip Ayensu, the structures won't work if you don't incorporate an SPV. I do not understand why we are fighting over this. At this point, Philip Ayensu was arguing that why did they want to do the restructure and why the finance minister is pushing for that idea. This is where it goes. He goes on to say, the objection to this is totally surprising and frankly unhelpful. I think we should all meet tonight. This is Gabby speaking. Everybody in this group, they should all meet tonight. And he suggested, I am suggesting 7 p.m. Gabby goes on to say that, are we working for the Filipinos or to ensure that the real intent behind the president's push for the 51% local ownership is realized? I'll take this again. Are we working for the Filipinos or to ensure that the real intent behind the president's push for 51% local ownership is realized? It is not done for the optics. He goes on to say that we must meet on the structure and on financing. These people will come on their Twitter, they'll come on their Facebook and say, we have nothing to do with PDS. Today they are here suggesting and dictating what should happen to this PDS deal. These are the kind of people we have in power. This is the friends and family criminals we have to be dealing with. These are the people we have to be exposing. And Gabby goes on to say, he does not finish there. He says that we must meet on the structure and on financing. We also need full transparency going forward and to control. Listen to what Gabby says. He said, we also need full transparency going forward and to control the drafting of the shareholders agreement with Meralco. You know, at this point, they've realized that Meralco has so much power, 30% in this whole thing. They needed to cut Meralco into pieces. Why did they think they had to do that? There was a trick there. You saw that in the list I gave you, Sickens was in there in this group. Do you know that Sickens is on the board of PDS? Most people don't know. Sickens, Kwame Boafo, is on the board of PDS. Remember that when the restructure was going to be done, they said some companies were going to come on board. Those companies were TB Plus. That company belongs to Sickens. And then Otin Jesse. Otin Jesse is a personal friend to the president. And the president promised him that he has to be in there. So the idea of the restructuring Ken Oforiatta was pushing for all the time was because he wanted TB Plus, which belonged to Sickens, and Otinjesi, who is a friend to the president, to be pushed in there, and then some shares will be cut and given to these people. Basic. My fellow Ghanaians, don't get confused. We are still going to move forward, but this is what Trailer and Manila were fighting over. Trailer and Manila were the guys who were pulling the strings behind the scene. Trailer in Manila was put together by Gabi Ochedako. He should come out. Gabi, I expect you to come out and say this wasn't put together by you. I expect you to come out and come speak English and tell Ghanaians that I'm lying, and I will show you. Kevin Taylor, I will show you, Gabi Ochedako, the things you are hiding from people. Let's move on. Don't get confused. It is simple. I'm going to summarize everything for you. Forget about the big English. This is where the truth is. I would like to tell you that the president, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, knows about everything. He is actually the mastermind behind all that is happening. His brother, Ken Ofori-Atta, Gabi Ochedako, all these people are working for the president. He is pulling the string and he's making the decisions. The money, he is the one we are chasing after. Now, let's move on. Now, PDS has been formed, right? How did they raise the money? This is what they did. They forced MEDA to bend the rules for them. Now, this is how PDS is going to access that 380 million the United States taxpayer sent to Ghana to help ECG. They bend the rules. What they did was, in the rules, there was something called condition precedent. Condition precedent is simple. Don't be worried about the English. Before PDS comes in, show us money. You show us money, show us what you can do, then you move in. Because in the rules or in the regulations, you were supposed to have 60% financial strength and 40% technical know-how. So they were actually looking at the money aspect more than the technical aspect, because ECG was struggling. We needed money, and then the technicalities comes with it. Now, this is what happens. MEDA, led by his son Benjamin, bends the rules from condition precedent to condition subsequent. The difference here is, moving it from condition precedent to condition subsequent, it is simple. It means that PDS can now start working. They can now start working with ECG, and then along the way, they will raise that money. So open the door for them to go in without any money, nothing, zero. Go in there, and as they are in there working, collecting revenue and accessing ECG, they can now come out and show us that this is the money they raised. This is what they did. When MEDA, led by his son Benjamin, opened that window for them through condition subsequent, they went in there and they contacted Kelly Kajepo, who was put there by the president, who had access to the 380 million US dollars. And then Kelly Kajepo handed over that money to them. It is simple, because without condition subsequent, these guys would never have made it to that money. So the president used his son Benjamin to create a window for PDS to go through. Now they go to Kelly Kajepo. It is easy. Kelly give them access to the money. That is how PDS made that money disappear. So, my fellow Ghanaians, you now understand. This was a calculated thing. The president knew what he was doing. The first day he appointed his son Benjamin, Martin, his son Benjamin, to head MEDA, and also appointed Kelly Kajepo to head ECG. That was his plan. At the end of the day, they wanted to access the money indirectly, and they did it. They did it. But I have some few questions for these people. Yes, few questions. I would like to ask, as at the date of the suspension, yes, as at when the energy minister came out to say, or the information minister came out to say, this deal has been suspended. How much money had these shareholders, I mean PDS, had these shareholders paid for the shares? We wanted to know how much money, because they should give us the accounts they sent that money from to pay into the ECG accounts as PDS. We want to know the date, the timelines, how much money they actually raised, because that will tell us how much money was already in ECG's accounts. So they should come out and tell us which accounts did they pay the money from into the ECG accounts as PDS. I would also like to ask, if the energy minister says there was fraud in this whole deal, we have to understand that in law, fraud cannot be cured. So technically, this deal is fraudulent. Yes, This deal is fraudulent from the top to the down. So why did they just suspend it and not to cancel it? If you say it was fraudulent, why suspend it? Because it is fraudulent. You just have to cancel the deal. They have to explain to us why was it suspended but not cancelled. I would also like to ask, these are simple questions. Why is PDS still taking or collecting money? I would also like to ask, why is Ison Benjamin still at post? I would also like to know, and this is a very critical question, how did Eneja Esse manage to get into the PDS deal? Mr. President, Ghanaians are wide awake now. You cannot play these tricks on us. It is clear that Thriller in Manila was put together by Gabi under your instructions, and these names there, none of them initially you said knew about PDS, but they were discussing how this deal will be financed, how this deal steps will be taken to make sure some shares are taken away from some people. Mr. President, you cannot lie your way out of everything. And I would like to tell my fellow Ghanaians that this does not end here. I am working with the international media. Yes, I am working with the American media to make sure that this story is spread across the world. I am talking to all the media houses. We are putting documents together to make sure that it is reported. And all these individuals are featured in here. You know, somebody like Ken Oforiatta, you want to get into the Yale high class, whatever. If you are involved in such scandal, if you are involved in this stinking scandal, we will make sure that Yale gets to know the corruption that you are overseeing in Ghana, the corruption you and your cousin, the president, the corruption you and your family are overseeing in Ghana. Don't think of the Yale high class, whatever. I will make sure that the world gets to know who you are. Who you are. Even though you are worth over $150 million and over, I'll let the world, the intellectual world in the United States and across the world know who you are. The United States taxpayers' money cannot be used anyhow. The Americans will come in and ask questions, and I'll make sure I use the little connection I have to sell this story to the American media so that people will be asked questions, a group that belongs to one particular family, to spend all this money. My fellow Ghanaians, this is just the beginning. In the weeks to come, I'll be revealing deep secrets behind this PDS deal. My name is Kevin Ekobedu Taylor, and this is With All Due Respect.
My name is Alfred Amuzu. I'm the host for the Ghana Agenda on Loud Silence TV and Radio Network. Here are some of the things we talk about on the show. We talk about things like the echo. Is Ghana ready for echo? So you come to my show, we will break it all down. Things like the educational system in Ghana. Should we be doing double track, or should we just keep it like it was when we had sixth form or when ISS started? GMPC, what are they doing with our oil money? Are they using it well or not? But I wouldn't bore you with all the details now. Meet me on Sunday between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're in Ghana, remember, it's 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. GMT. Thanks again. My name is Alfred Amuzu, the host of the Ghana Agenda. See you soon.
Hi, my name is Kevin Taylor. I would like to ask, Who is behind Eairs of Angola? This is With All Due Respect. With all due respect, over the weeks, I have asked about Eairs of Angola, and I have received many questions about this company. Today, I will want to shine the light on how MEDA has intentionally flouted its own rules and procedures to allow Eairs, the Angolan and foreign company, to acquire 19% of Ghana's ECG for free. Yes, they have allowed this company from Angola to acquire 19% of Ghana's ECG for free. I say for free because no one from this government, this current NPP government, or from MEDA has had the courage to tell us Ghanaians who is behind Eairs of Angola. My fellow Ghanaians, I have always told you to focus. Just focus. Don't be distracted. Focus on this PDS scandal because there's more to it than we think. If you have not made up your mind about PDS already, please continue to follow and focus. It will continue to be clearer as we get answers to some of these pertinent questions. The honest truth is, PDS is just a veil created to fleece the American taxpayer and to rob Ghanaians using institutions like MEDA and the Millennium Challenge Corporation, MCC of the United States of America. Hopefully, it will also become clearer why MEDA's actions became systematically deceiving right after the change of government and why the leadership of MEDA were quickly removed after the change of government. It is also important for you to know why Ken Ofori-Attah's longtime and business partner Kelly Kajipo was placed early. Yes, he was placed very early on as the board chair of ECG right after the change of government. This will show you the origin of the fraud of PDS and why PDS cannot be genuine private sector participation. That's the PSP. At best, PDS is the people of Ghana's public assets being used to dubiously enrich a private class of President Akufo-Addo's hand-picked family, friends, and cronies out of key public assets. Obviously, this contravenes the goals and objectives of the Millennium Challenge Corporation. This is also the reason why the private media in the United States have taken a keen interest in this particular scandal. With all due respect, my fellow Ghanaians, let us get back to deconstruction of Eairs. The key unanswered questions again to MEDA is how the Angolan company became part of the Miracle PSP deal. Now, I have some questions, some few questions I would like to ask this government and MEDA. Now, let's move on. I can emphatically tell you, based on all the documents that I have here from MEDA's own records, that Eairs did not go through the request for interest, that is the ROI. Eairs did not go through the pre-qualification, that is the RFQ with Miracle. Eairs from Angola is supposedly not a Ghanaian company. So that will mean that MEDA and Miracle have circumvented the rules of the international competitive bidding. My fellow Ghanaians, this shows that the whole thing is fraud. Even if Eairs was a Ghanaian company, then the Ghanaian shareholding is 70%, not 51%, that MEDA had led Ghanaians to believe. Otherwise, we assume a 19% that Miracle and MEDA want Ghanaians to believe have been given to an Angolan company for free. Free bonto. My fellow Ghanaians, focus. Let's focus. My fellow Ghanaians, if we have 70%, then how much has each existing Ghanaian equity shareholder contributed as capital towards PDS? MEDA needs to come out clearly and show us and tell us Ghanaians the truth. If the Eairs is a foreign company, yes, if Eairs is a foreign company with 19%, Miracle and MEDA should tell us how much seed capital Eairs has contributed towards PDS, and they should tell Ghanaians and the United States taxpayer at what point did Eairs become part of the transaction? How were they introduced to MEDA? And in what form did Miracle and their Ghanaian partners communicate that introduction to MEDA? With all due respect, my fellow Ghanaians, let's go on. Who are the shareholders of Eairs? I ask today, who are the shareholders of Eairs? Who are the board members of Eairs? Who is the company secretary of Eairs? These are simple questions that demand simple answers. Did Eairs disclose its previous or current affiliation with Gabi Ochredakong, Philip Ayensu, and cohort to MIDA and MCC at their point of entry into the now metaphors PDS? Again, did MIDA intentionally bend the rules to evade full disclosure? The actions of MIDA and the process smacks fraud, my fellow Ghanaians. Again, the Thriller in Manila WhatsApp group that was clearly set up to discuss the PDS transaction. Can Gabi Ochredakong explain his role in that transaction? What was the role of the president's brother, Edward Ekufu-Addo? How were the law firms in the transaction selected? If there is no fraud, no corruption, no breach of the prominent process, then Gabi Ochredakong and MIDA should be able to come out clearly to the people of Ghana and answer these questions. These are straightforward questions. My fellow Ghanaians, in spite of all these questions surrounding Eairs, MIDA and MCC awarded the concession to Miracle, TG Energy, Santa Baron, and TGS Consortium. The question is, why? In fact, I can tell you that when the issue of Ejapamesa, when the issue of Ejapamesa and his conflict of interest came up to MIDA before submission of their final bid submission, MIDA was indifferent to Ejapamesa's role as an actor in the consortium and also as a state regulator. Again, MIDA was aware of such facts but chose to circumvent its own rules in the haste to award the contract to the pre-chosen Miracle PDS by hook or crook. My fellow Ghanaians, let's keep calm. Let's just focus on the last money. Let's focus on the scandal. Now, I would like to ask, how much money has Eairs contributed to the deal to end this huge 19% of government-sponsored loot? My fellow Ghanaians, from what I am seeing, we have a serious situation on our hands. We may have succeeded in giving away 19%, yes, free 19% of Ghanaian money to a foreign national behind Eairs for free. The honest truth, my fellow Ghanaians, is that the dam is breaking. The walls are weakening because the whole PDS deal is a scam. Finally, with all due respect, my fellow Ghanaians, in weeks to come, I will reveal all the people behind this PDS scandal one after the other. My fellow Ghanaians, we have to focus and follow the money. We have not even touched on the Ghanaians 51% and all the frontmen. Yeah, we've not talked about Santa Baron, the TG Energies, TGS, and why Ken Oforiatta, through the president's lawyer, Akoto Ampao, is adamant on restructuring the equity in a so-called private PDS to include TB Plus, which belongs to Sikkens and his cousin Chum, and Otinjesi of Tropical Cables, and Ghana Infrastructure Fund. My fellow Ghanaians, let's not forget the Ghana Infrastructure Fund. They intend to use the money. Where is the senior minister, Osafo Mafo, in all of this? Where lies his interest? I would like to ask Osafo Mafo, did he take part in this deal and which company did he represent? I've also been asking, who is the ex-convict involved in this scandal? I asked this question last week. There's an ex-convict who is involved in this scandal deeply. This person was jailed in New Jersey. I maintain that PDS is a veil. It is a bogus vehicle created to lubricate the transfer of Electricity Company of Ghana asset to enriching the president's brother Edward Ekufu, who is also known as Bumpty, some family members, and some cronies. The simple question is, why would EDF walk out of this deal at a nail-biting last minute after they have invested so much into this deal? Why would the French spend all these resources to go through this strenuous process only to withdraw at the nail-biting last minute? Does it make sense to you, my fellow Ghanaians? My fellow Ghanaians, this PDS deal is a total scam. It's a loot and share amongst family and friends, which was put together by the President Ekufu-Addo and his brother Bumpty. It is our responsibility as citizens to make sure every individual involved in this crime is exposed and prosecuted and at the end of the day jailed. In the weeks to come, I will reveal another set of names behind this scandal. We are not shutting up. We are not going to be distracted. We are not going to allow a few to intimidate we the masses. We have to fight for what is right, and we have to fight for the betterment of this nation. As I have always said, I am just a messenger, my fellow Ghanaians, who is ready to speak truth to power. I come with no Bible or Quran in my hand. All that I come with is truth. My fellow Ghanaians, my name is Kevin Ekobedu Taylor. It's with all due respect. Hi, my name is Kevin Taylor. I'd like to ask, why the loud silence from the ex-president? This is the Friday editorial. So with all due respect, I would like to start today's piece with this quote, and I quote, "If your actions inspire others to become more, if your actions inspire others to dream more, and if your actions inspire others to learn more, then that makes you a leader." End of quote. Now I'd like to ask, how inspiring are these ex-presidents when it comes to speaking against corruption in times like these, when corruption has become a national agenda under the leadership of Akufo-Addo? I'm talking about the PDS scandal. One might ask, why the loud silence from the men who once occupied the same position as this weak-minded president who is corrupt and petty? Do they want to tell us that they haven't seen or heard what is happening in this country? The corruption, the fraud, the denigration of the presidency, the family and friends governance, the tribal bigotry from this president and his family. Do these men behind me, yes, these ex-presidents behind me, want to tell us Ghanaians they haven't heard or seen anything else? Today, I'm going to speak to these honorable men about how their loud silence on corruption, especially on this PDS scandal, is making some of us Ghanaians lose hope in the fight against corruption. With all due respect, I'll start with ex-President Rawlings. This is a man who bragged about probity and accountability when his own NDC was in power. In fact, ex-President Rawlings was basically the mouthpiece of Akufo-Addo in 2016. J.J. Rawlings made sure he preached against his own NDC to get Akufo-Addo elected because he felt Ghana was drowning in corruption. Ex-President Rawlings never made a day pass without speaking on corruption. Today, same man sees no evil and hears no evil, all because his enemy's enemy is president today. This is a man who expects young Ghanaians to take him serious. Yes, he expects people like us to take him serious. This is a man who expects people like myself to shower praises on him because he stands in the rain in the middle of the street to conduct traffic. As a young Ghanaian, growing up, I thought men like J.J. Rawlings were saints in politics because their continuous attack on his own NDC when it came to corruption was massive. But something has changed today. Ex-President Rawlings has suddenly become like a tamed dog when it comes to corruption under the leadership of Akufo-Addo. One will ask, was it all about pettiness? Was it about greed or revenge on people in his own party who did not allow his greedy wife, who wanted to sit on the NDC party as a chamber pot? Ex-President Rawlings' sudden silence on corruption under the leadership of Nana Addo Dankwa has shown that this man was born a hypocrite. Yes, he was born a selfish hypocrite who only sees evil in people he doesn't agree with. Today, ex-President Rawlings finds it difficult to make direct statements on corruption because he knows those statements will make his friend, Akufo-Addo, very unpopular. J.J. Rawlings, ex-President Rawlings, who was considered in time past as a giant in corruption fight, has today become a puppy on a midget's lap. Ex-President Rawlings, you have sold your conscience for peanut. Your dignity has been washed away by greed, and I am ashamed of you. You have always made we Ghanaians to believe that you live on moral high ground, whilst we the others live on moral low ground. But your hypocrisy has exposed you. Today, you are scared to talk about serious corruption under Akufo-Addo because you know your daily bread will be taken away from you. You have become a political motivational speaker. You try to stick to general issues than speaking to the exact issue. JJ, you are a disgrace. Today, I can confidently say those who made allegations about you killing those judges have a case. Yes, they have a case today because your level of dishonesty is above the thinking of the ordinary Ghanaian. You are a hypocrite who does not deserve to be given any attention. Ex-President Rawlings, it is my prayer that your silence remains till you bow out of politics for good, because your loud silence on this PDS scandal is disgusting and embarrassing. With all due respect, now ex-President Kufuor, Mr. President, during your tenure as president, we saw one of the best committed presidents who cared about his people. We saw a man who stuck to his word. Ghanaians were lucky to have a leader who tried his best to fight corruption. Now, what has happened to you, ex-President Kufuor? Where did your voice go? You were one of the reasons young men like us joined the NPP because we saw life and hope in your statements. We believed in you and your abilities. But today, you have become an ex-president who now pretends to see nothing and hear nothing. Your loud silence on this PDS scandal is heartbreaking. It's a sign that you have given up on Ghana, or you are just scared that this president, Akufo-Addo, will make you his enemy and literally cut your tongue out if you try to speak against his involvement in this unprecedented PDS scandal. Mr. President, I'm ashamed of you today. In fact, you have really disappointed me and the whole nation. I don't think you would have kept quiet if Ghana was a property you were going to leave behind for your grandchildren. Mr. President, Mr. Ex-President Kufuor, this PDS scandal and many more scandals you have been quiet about is speaking volumes about your intentions for Ghanaians. In fact, I'm truly ashamed that you have kept quiet on a disease of a government like this. Ex-President Kufuor, the honest truth is, this is not the NPP Edubuahin left behind. And truly, this is not the NPP you left behind. So why are you so quiet to allow these tribal bigots, these hypocrites, greedy, selfish group of family members pull this country apart to feed their selfish ego? Your silence on this PDS scandal is unprecedented, and I have to say I am disappointed in you. I don't want to believe you support these corrupt acts, and I don't also want to believe you support this president whose appetite for corruption is next to nothing. Ex-President Kufuor, it is about time you made Ghanaians know your stance on this disgusting scandal, because people like us have so much faith in you and right-thinking MPP leaders. I say the right-thinking MPP leaders. I say the right-thinking MPP leaders. It is my prayer that ex-President Kufuor, you make your voice heard on this disease of a scandal. With all due respect, now ex-President Mahama, the honest truth is, I am very, very disappointed in you, ex-President Mahama, than Kufuor and Rawlings, all because you could be the next president of Ghana. As we speak, you can become the next president of Ghana come 2020 because you are a flag bearer. Not just a flag bearer of the biggest opposition party in Ghana today. Now, why am I so disappointed in you the most? It is because you told us Ghanaians that you have an unfinished business you wanted to come back to power and complete. Now, I would like to ask, what is more unfinished than speaking against corruption? What is more unfinished than letting Ghanaians know that your second coming, your utmost priority will be the fight against corruption? Why are you quiet on this historic scandal? Ex-President Mahama, tell Ghanaians why you are so quiet on this historic scandal, this PDS scandal. You have chosen to chase goose instead of antelopes. You have decided to fall for an old trick by an old trickster. Ex-President Mahama, I was thinking you were going to take the corruption fight to this petty president who only survives on corruption blood. But no, you fell for the same old trick, free SHS. Mr. President, you fell for a conversation every Ghanaian knows was settled in 2016. Free SHS is no news today because we all know and our constitution makes it clear that free SHS was with us even before you got into mainstream politics. So I wasn't expecting you to fall for this con man trick of diverting issues. I was expecting you, ex-President Mahama, to reply this con man as a president, this con man, Akufo-Addo, why he ran to Angola to lie about PDS, ignoring we the voters back in Ghana. I thought you were going to reply him. You were going to reply Akufo-Addo by telling him to answer Ghanaians how his nephew Gabi Ochredakun set up a WhatsApp group named Thriller in Manila with his brother Bumpty to discuss the PDS agreement. Ex-President Mahama, I thought you were going to explain to this braggart of a president why a Niger Eairs was part of PDS and taking 19% shares when they did not even go through the vetting process. Ex-President Mahama, I thought you were going to ask Akufo-Addo how his cousin, the finance minister, tried to set up a committee to make Akoto Ampao from his law firm the head. I thought you were going to ask Akufo-Addo why he has refused to tell Ghanaians who the delegation he sent to Qatar were and what they came back with. Ex-President Mahama, you have disappointed Ghanaians on this PDS issue, and I personally am disappointed in you. Ex-President Mahama, I believe this is the time you have to prove to Ghanaians you have what it takes to fight corruption. Yes, this is the time you have to take the lead and prove to we Ghanaians that you can even fight corruption in opposition. This is the time for you, ex-President Mahama, to speak on this PDS scandal and force this corrupt president to answer questions about this scandal. This is the time for you to prove to us that your second coming isn't just about power, but to fight corruption irrespective of who is involved. This is what we Ghanaians are expecting from a potential leader. Mr. Ex-President Mahama, if you want Ghanaians to take you or your presidential bid serious, then I believe this is the time you have to take the corruption fight to this president. Your loud silence on this scandal is as dangerous as supporting it in opposition. Ex-President Mahama, the honest truth is the people of this country want an alternative to this family and friends crooks who came to steal and destroy this nation. So if you think you are the alternative, then I believe this is the time for you to prove to we the citizens that you are not a hypocrite when it comes to the fight against corruption. I don't care who is advising you on this issue, but my little knowledge is it will only take your commitment and honesty to change the minds of the people who want to give a second chance. You might have hypocrites around you who will praise you because you want to play it safe on issues of corruption. But with me, I will tell you the truth in your face. Ex-President Mahama, the honest truth is you better show the people that you are willing and committed in fighting corruption in opposition. Ex-President Mahama, if I were you, I will make the fight against corruption my unfinished business. Yes, I will make the fight against corruption my unfinished business. And now, to the three ex-presidents, I have a simple message for you, honorable men, and it's a wise saying, and I quote, if your actions inspire others to become more, if your actions inspire others to dream more, and if your actions inspire others to learn more, then that makes you a leader. End of quote. So ex-President Kufuor, ex-President Rawlings, and ex-President Mahama, you people should respectfully let your actions inspire us more. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kevin Ekobedu Taylor, and this is the Friday Editorial. Hi, my name is Kevin Taylor, host of With All Due Respect. As you know, With All Due Respect has been self-produced for the past 3 years. We have not accepted any money or resources outside in order to maintain the integrity of the platform. We are an anti-corruption platform. Our work doesn't excite or encourage compromised stakeholders. That also means we cannot take funds from just anyone. As our platform grows, the need for increased quality of work and production requires increased resources during this election year and beyond. In order to maintain our anti-corruption stance and continue to speak for everyday people without clout or connections in higher places, we cannot rely on the same entities we critique for continually keeping their hands in the cookie jar to be the ones who keep our work going. In that view, I welcome your support and participation in keeping this work ongoing. This platform is for the people, so we think it is only right for the people to sustain it. Now, this is a simple thing you have to do. Just visit patreon.com/withallduerespect. patreon.com/withallduerespect, or click the link at the bottom of the video. For Ghanaians or our viewers in Ghana, we are putting together a Ghanaian payment processor on our website. Please, and please again, do not send any donation to any platform apart from patreon.com/withallduerespect or loudsilenceradio.com donation page. You can donate as low as $10. Yes, $10, and we have exciting packages for every level of donation, including one-on-one call with me, Kevin Ekobedu Taylor, access to some of the documents before they go live. You can also have dinner with me in Washington, D.C. to discuss the issues. My fellow Ghanaians, remember, it's Patreon, patreon.com/withallduerespect. Hi, my name is Kevin.